going?
So it's been a second since we've seen sort of a full story from Phineas and Ferb. And I read that, when you guys get asked to do this, you were like, what are we going to do? So how did you crack that story?
We sat in a room for 3 weeks, endlessly pitching ideas that we'd already done.
Yes, that's basically.
Until we got to one that we went, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. A lot of this stuff we started pitching early was sort of like Phineas and Ferb, where it's sort of driven by what they are doing, what they are building, what great thing they're trying to do. And we realized we hadn't really told other kinds of stories often there where, like, what if the thing that drives the story is somebody being in jeopardy and having it be that kind of different adventure? Can we still tell a story that feels like a Phineas and Ferb story if we start off from that place? So that was sort of the impetus of having Candace get abducted. Is like, what if the boys really have a mission they have to do that's important to save Candace?
If we're going to rescue Candace, we need to build a spaceship.
My galactic travel-inator!
You mean like a spaceship?
But it's an inator. There's a difference. It's branding. Leave me alone.
You created the show a long time before it aired. And then it's been a long time since it first started airing. So you've been with these characters for like almost 30 years.
Since the early 90s.
Yes, exactly. So it's 2020. Yeah, it's been 27 years since we created the show, and we have been living with it ever since. It's weird because they feel like family to us. We know them so well that actually writing dialogue for them becomes easier because you just sort of put them in a situation and then you know what they would say.
It makes it incredibly difficult, I know, on some of the writers we've had over the years, because we absolutely know what Phineas and Ferb and these characters would or wouldn't say or wouldn't do. And we've had so many times that people have come and pitched something, well, and they do this, and both Dan and I are like, no, he wouldn't.
Yes.
Like, yeah, but it'd be funny. It's like, yeah, I know, but they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because we just know them so well. And that was kind of the fun journey of saying, okay, if we want to do that, how do we believably get those characters there? And it makes the job harder, but much more rewarding when you're able to achieve it. But I don't think you get that kind of joy if you don't really have this feeling that those characters have become absolutely real to you.
I don't even think I'm gonna go ballistic. As long as my brothers don't build some big enormous thing that makes me broke away but disappears before my mother gets home. Like when they built a giant roller coaster. Nope.
What's harder now and what's easier? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there stuff that you're like, oh, we've done every story, so that's harder?
Songs are still pretty easy. It's easy to write a song if you know what the chorus is going to be. It's if you're trying to write a song from inside your soul that you have to sort of feel like
your angst about relationship.
You have to wait for the muse to hit you. But if you have an hour and a half out in your schedule and you have to you have to write a song for this episode, and it has to be about a girl who has squirrels in her pants, or there's a platypus controlling me, or so. We can easily come up with funny stuff to get us to there, and we have enough of a pop sensibility melodically that we can get there pretty fast.
The harder part is finding the stories that you don't feel like you've overtold or told before, and you really want to keep finding new emotional journeys, and that's the challenge.
That was what was great about when we do the long form stuff, when we did the hour longs and we did the movies, that suddenly you felt like you could really tell an emotional arc that would hopefully get people a little bit choked up at the end, and that's what I think we've done with this movie.
I was wondering too if that's why you went to space. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it takes longer to get to space. You can spend longer in space. You could build a world in space.
Yes,
and do it in maybe 22 minutes.
I don't know. I just like space. Space is cool.
Space is fun, but it does. It opens up. Suddenly it's like, oh, we can do whatever we want here because nobody knows what this looks like. And if you turn it on, it won't look like every single Phineas and Ferb episode that we've already done.
We go to a place where you can do anything, and then we immediately create rules for this new place we've gone to.
Yes, exactly.
We're back. Yeah, it's a brand new day. We're rested and we're ready to jump into the fray.
So you can put that in your almanac.
Baby, we're back.
Tell me about some of the cameos in the movie. Like, I was spending the whole time being like, I know that voice. I thought it was Catherine Hahn, but then it turns out it was Ali Wong. Like, there was some... She was really channeling some Catherine Hahn there.
Ali was great. Ali, we're friends with Dietrich Bader, who's done the show a bunch of times, and he's on American Housewife with Ali. And so when we started thinking about Ali, we immediately looked up and saw if she had kids, because that's usually how we get people. But her kids
are yes to our show.
Her kids are toddlers and may not be watching the show. You know, it's like, oh, they won't even probably know the show. So we talked to Dietrich and said, can you tell her how great we are? Can you talk us up to her?
Tell us we're nice guys. Tell her it's
so that
fun.
we can get her. And we got Thomas Middleditch to be the guy who tells the story of how everything happened on that planet. And I've always loved him in Silicon Valley. And I was like, okay, I think it would be great to get something from him. I wonder what kind of voices he can do. And then I saw Middleditch and Schwartz. Have you seen this on? I think it's on Netflix.
It's great.
Oh my God, he's so brilliant in that. I was like, oh, we can get anything we want out of Thomas. He'll be able to deliver. We called Wayne Brady to be Stapler Fist. Wayne's a friend of the show. Yeah, Wayne's written a song with us. Yeah. For the Star Wars special. He wrote In the Empire with us.
Does quarantine exist in the tri-state area? And how are what would they be doing during this endless...
I don't know, but it would be great.
You know, we sort of have the quarantine episode of Phineas and Ferb. There's one episode where everybody, like Buford, Baljeet, Isabella, Phineas and Ferb are all sick in bed and talking to each other on basically a Zoom call the entire time while Perry is off doing something, and they somehow
predicted the future.
Let's see who's next.
Ferb!
Oh, great! It is not like Ferb is an internationally ranked video game wizard or anything.
A lot of people have been posting that on social media as sort of like, well, this is what the Phineas and Ferb would be doing in quarantine. When I see people on TikTok making these really creative videos and stuff, somebody built a roller coaster. Actually, 2 different families built a roller coaster in their backyard during quarantine that actually works. It's not terribly big, but it actually works. And to me, it's like, oh, that's the spirit of Phineas and Ferb. It's like, we're dealt this hand that we have to sort of separate and isolate and stuff like that. But what can we do that's fun and creative and make something great? There's
a lady on social media who's sending me pictures of her and her family figuring out equivalents, pictures of them doing everything in the theme song or their equivalent of it.
Right.
And it's really great. And you can tell for them, it's just a way to get together and do something wacky and creative every day.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
I know what we're going to do today. It's me against the universe.